You don't actually miss him. You miss the emotional routine. The checking your phone in the morning. The random compliments. The feeling of somebody consistently choosing you for a moment in time. And when that suddenly disappears, it feels like heartbreak. It feels like withdrawal. That's why some of you keep replaying memories you know weren't even consistently healthy. Because your nervous system got attached to the emotional pattern, not just the person. And girl, let's really talk, because this is exactly how the cycle starts. At first you're calm. You're living your life. Then somebody comes in and suddenly they're texting you every day, making effort, making you feel emotionally seen. And your brain starts building comfort around that consistency. Then one day the energy changes. The replies slow down. The effort drops. And instead of stepping back and observing the change, most women start emotionally chasing the version of the person they met in the beginning. That's why you start checking your phone more, stalking socials, rereading old conversations, trying to figure out what changed. And babe, you know when you wake up and the first thing you do is check if they texted you? Yeah, that's when attachment starts controlling your peace. Your nervous system always notices inconsistency before your excuses do. Your body notices the delayed replies, the emotional distance, the lack of effort. But your mind starts creating stories to protect the attachment. Maybe he's stressed. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm asking for too much. And honestly, that's how women slowly abandon themselves emotionally without even realizing it. You start becoming more understanding towards somebody else than you are toward yourself, and that's not okay. Some of you stopped enjoying your actual life because you became emotionally consumed by one person's inconsistency. And no, babe, that's not love. That's anxiety mixed with hope. Girls, attention is not the same thing as emotional investment. Somebody texting you all day does not automatically mean they are emotionally capable of loving you properly. Some people enjoy access to you more than responsibility for you. They enjoy access to your softness, your attention, your emotional availability, but when it comes to consistency, reassurance, communication, accountability, suddenly they disappear. The emotionally unavailable thrive on women who constantly self-abandon for potential. One of the first things you need to do is stop overconsuming them. Stop checking their socials every hour. Stop rereading old messages. Stop creating emotional stimulation around somebody who is no longer consistently showing up for you. Because every single time you revisit them mentally, your nervous system reactivates the attachment again. And this is why some women stay stuck for months. They removed the person physically, but emotionally they're still feeding the attachment every day. And babe, building your life around somebody inconsistent does you no good. You end up trapped in emotional circles that you are continuing every time you go looking for another hit of reassurance. How people treat you is what you allow. I know that's hard to hear because sometimes you genuinely love the person. Sometimes you genuinely saw a future. But if someone is continuously not treating you the way you deserve, you have to stop allowing access to you at the expense of your peace. And I'm not saying it's easy because you cannot force somebody to become emotionally mature. You cannot love somebody into consistency. You cannot beg somebody into effort. And some of you are exhausting yourselves trying to convince somebody to treat you properly when the right person would naturally want to. So instead of obsessing over why they changed, start pouring that energy back into you. Journal. Go gym. Romanticize your own life again. Go outside. Make money. Heal. Build routines that don't revolve around somebody texting you back. Write down the type of relationship you actually want. What does he act like? How does he speak to you? How does he comfort you? How does he look at you? Because once you become clear on what you deserve, bare minimum behavior stops looking attractive. And trust me, when you pull your energy back and genuinely focus on yourself, people notice. Especially men. Because suddenly the woman who is always emotionally available is no longer chasing, no longer begging, no longer waiting around for crumbs. Ask yourself, what has this person consistently shown me over time? Patterns will tell you the truth faster than potential ever will. Life is too short to sit around waiting for somebody to become who they should already be for you. If a man genuinely wants you, trust me, you will know. Effort will not feel rare. Respect will not feel confusing. You won't constantly feel emotionally anxious trying to decode mixed signals. You need to rebuild emotional fullness outside of romantic attention. This is the part nobody talks about enough. Some of you are emotionally starving. That's why bare minimum attention feels intoxicating. Your life cannot only feel exciting when somebody texts you. You need goals, hobbies, healing, friendships, discipline, self-care, things that emotionally pour back into you so one person no longer controls your emotional state. Once you truly start loving yourself and realizing who the hell you are, trust me, you stop allowing people to play with your emotions so easily. Confidence changes everything. Standards change everything. Self-respect changes everything. And girl, don't be scared to let go because you think this was your only chance at connection. Healthy love will never require you to betray your peace just to keep it. The right connection will not leave you anxious every single night trying to decode mixed signals. And the real glow-up starts when a woman finally says, "I would rather be alone than emotionally drained." That's when everything changes. That's when attention stops impressing you. That's when you stop settling for temporary reassurance and start craving emotional safety instead. That version of you is so much more powerful than the version still begging for clarity from people who already showed inconsistency from the beginning. So if you're listening to this right now, let this be the moment you stop confusing attention with love. Stop feeding emotional attachments that continuously starve your peace. Start protecting your nervous system. Start choosing yourself properly. And babe, you are all that. If he doesn't see it, it honestly doesn't matter, because you do. And one day, the right person will too. Moi.